Hello everyone and welcome back to the FRC Historian. Today I'm going to be finishing up all of the Week 2 events as promised, starting from the New England Waterbury event all the way to the Pacific Northwest Auburn, which, believe it or not, ended only not even an hour ago from when I'm filming this. And I will tell you right now that I will follow the same general structure as the last video, going over each of the things. If there's an upset, I'll spend more time on it, but looking at some of the teams who won it. There may be an event or two in here that I don't know too much about, so I can research more if you'd like me to know. But please let me know if there's any other videos you want me to do or any events you want me to cover. And one more thing is that I'm going to be making a form I'll attach at the end of this. What I want you to do, all of you to do if you can, is the question is going to be if there's one question about FRC you want answered about history-wise, about a new event, about a team. If there's any question about FRC you've ever wondered that you want answered, please answer my question. Please put it in the form so that I can answer it for you, and also so I can learn some of this stuff as well. Thank you, and let's start the video. Starting off with the New England Waterbury event, 1676, the Pascack Pioneers led the second alliance against the first. Little known fact by the Pascack Pioneers, they were the third pick of the Cheesy Poop Alliance in 2017 St. Louis, winning the 2017 championship. And after the 2018 season, now the Alliance captain the second Alliance. What's interesting was they won the last match by by very few points. And what was interesting was that the reason why they ended up winning was because the Blue Alliance had a level 3 climb, whereas the Red Alliance didn't have a level 3 climb for the last two matches, giving the second Alliance a win. Next one, onto the Indiana St. Joseph event. Now, for those of you who did not know last year, the team who won this was the Comets out of Michigan, 33-57 against Hammond 71, which would have been Hammond's first banner in many, many, many years. However, Hammond got out in the quarterfinals, actually upset in the quarterfinals, leaving team 34-90 and 39-40 to win, which is their first ever win in several years. And one of the things that they did to upset the other alliance was that they ended up putting a lot more emphasis on the rocket. Now, for those of you who did not know and did not watch my strategies video, one thing about the rocket in qualifiers is that if you knock off a hatch panel and cargo comes out of it, what ends up happening is the refs can make the decision to give the other alliance a ranking point, which is incredibly valuable in qualifiers. But the other thing that they can do is in elims, they can award fouls for that. And when you have very, very tight games with only a few points difference, you don't want to lose a competition because of that. So they went for the Rockets because they knew that if another team bumped off a hatch panel, it would be their end. And they ended up winning by a few points because they went for the Rockets, and they filled up more than the Alliance was able to. Next up onto New England SE Mass District. Team 78 won the district as rank 1 after many finalists last year and the previous years giving them a banner for the first time in quite a while. Next up onto CHS Bethesda District. Team 449 upset the 5th Alliance as the 3rd Alliance. The 5th Alliance went in, they beat the 1st Alliance in the semis, went on to the finals, and Team 449 was able to beat them as the 3rd Alliance, giving them a banner. As you can tell, actually all of these things I'm covering today are district events, with one regional starting today, concluding on the 12th. I'm going to consider that as part of the 3rd week events, as well as the Israeli 3rd week district. Next up, onto Wake County, where Team 55-51 made it for their first time back into the finals and actually won as a captain. As of all of last year, they did not make it to the finals in any of their events, and they were able to win this time, getting themselves a banner for the Wake County event. Next up onto the FMA Mount Olive District, where Team 25-77 was able to upset the 1st Alliance as the 2nd Alliance, but once again the end game becoming a crucial factor in them winning this thing. So for any of you wondering how important the end game is, remember that a climb on the 3rd level is 12 points. For reference, that's 4 cargo. And if you have 1 on the 3rd, 2 on the bottom, and the other alliance has 3 on the bottom, that is equal to 2 cargo, which is incredibly valuable if you know how effective defense is in this game. Next up, onto the Ontario Humber District. I can basically describe this district as Symbotics shows what they can do, because they picked Dave and actually scored 108 points, 105 being without the 1 penalty, becoming what I believe is the world high score right now. Symbotics was able to go to town and show the world what they can do. Next up, onto the FMA West Town event, where team 4342 was able to win and beat rank 4 as rank 2, making it their first win since 2017, although it didn't seem that long. They did have a dry season last year compared to this one, where they've already won a banner. Next up on the First in Texas San Antonio event. Now this one I was kind of excited to watch some of the upsets, because in the other events we had we've seen Blackhawk Robotics, we've seen Robonaut, and we've seen Robo Wranglers, three of the highest hitting teams here. Where actually the team who won it here was 3035, winning their first banner. And what's interesting is that in the finals, it was Alliance 4 versus Alliance 6. Of course, Alliance 6 was the third time Alliance 6 made it to the finals, but I've never seen a 4 versus 6. One other thing that a lot of people didn't know was this was also the first evolution of a 4 finals matches. What I mean by that is the Blue Alliance won the first, Red Alliance won the second, they tied in a tiebreaker match, and then the Red Alliance pulled away in the final one. Next up, onto our last one, the Pacific Northwest Auburn event, which, because of the time zone difference, actually ended not too long ago, where team 948 won their first event since 2014 as the second alliance, beating the fourth alliance who upset the first in the semis. Now, what I see a lot more of in these events where you don't see as many legacy high-hitting teams, you'll see a lot more upsets, because the differences between the teams is all the teams there are really good. So you'll see many different upsets because of the end game, playing defense, because of going for the rocket. All these different things go into account to make it such that a team is able to excel in what they do. Thank you for listening, and please comment below if you have any ideas, and please enter your answers into my Google form so I can know more ideas to do some more research, and let you know whatever you want to know about FRC. Thank you. Thank you for listening, and I really look forward to Week 3, as this is the debut of the Cheesy Poofs. Week 4 will be the debut of teams 1241 and 2056.